On to you, Aries. So you Aries have the Three of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, and you have the Ace of Pentacles. So these three cards right here for you, Aries, very much so. That's interesting. So a lot of you Aries very much so are going to have fun, regardless of whether a person is interested or not. Now you Aries are starting to get it even more, right? That's great. That the mentality that a lot of you Aries have. Because now that you Aries have this mentality, yes, date. See, here's the thing, right? Date to get to a point, right? You're supposed to get to know another person long term, but at the same time, you're still supposed to be playful with it. You're still supposed to enjoy yourself as you're getting to know one person. And most people get it wrong in the sense that they will like mess around and stuff like this because they have this ideology of they'll be doing it wrong, where it's like they act like they can't have fun with one person. Also, they act like they can mess around with a group of people over here, but over here at the same time they'll be dating this individual, right? Waiting to see if this person actually is decent for them, and that essentially ruins it. And I'll tell you why. You're doing it correctly in the sense that the Three of Pentacles and the Five of Swords is about you understanding that it doesn't have to be so stuck up. It doesn't have to be so like bougie. It's very much so you're playful and you're getting to know them, and the two of you, like I said, are chasing after each other. Those are the only relationships that work. The relationships that work are 50-50 relationships. Why? Because 50-50 relationships are two people chasing up on after each other. What gets so much cheating happening is part of the reason why people cheat is because it's revenge for chasing after the person for so long. The person trying to get you to jump through hoops. So now the person takes it personally when they actually get what it is that they're looking for. Now it's all the would-be desire and the energy that would have been used to be in a relationship, the gift giving, the love, the appreciation, the quality time spent together, all of that is exhausted in the chase of itself. So guess what's going to happen? Now if the person is indecent and they can't figure it out, I'm getting so much notifications, but they can't figure it out within themselves, guess what's going to happen? They're going to go ahead and cheat. So I'm saying all this to say that you Aries want to do the chasing and you want to get chased. You want both. And that's another thing too when it comes to the misconception of relationships. People think that you got to be one or the other, yo. And this is what I mean when I say anybody who can't approach, anybody who talking about they can't approach and they making excuses for it, you got something wrong with you. No exceptions. You've got something wrong with you. You either got social anxiety, which is cool, or you've got social anxiety, but you need to make up excuses for it. That's a whole dub, because again, successful relationships work when two people who are getting to know each other are both contributing and putting in the work, i.e. 50-50. 50-50. Part of the reason why you see so many people getting divorced, Aries, is because one side is doing the majority of the work and the other side is not doing any work or little work, and that's part of what ruins the attraction to one another. Both of them are not contributing. They're not both putting in. They're not contributing. They're not contributing. So the Ace of Pentacles represents, so because now you Aries have this, it frees your mental space and your emotional space up to now start being more resourceful. Because the Eight of Cups now in the Judgment represent a lot less a lot of you Aries are going to suffer from a lot less disrespect. You're not suffering, but you're not suffering. What I'm saying is you Aries will be more impervious or more indestructible to insults that people throw, because playful. You're getting to know others because you understand one thing. If a person is interested and they're looking for something special, the shallow metrics or shallow signals that people are trying to project onto themselves and others are not important. This idea of needing to have Jordan sneakers in order to be seen as cool and all this other type of nonsense. If a person is interested and they're really looking for something special, they wouldn't care if you're wearing Jordans or not, because they're looking for the value of the relationship, and they know that you Aries are decent individuals in the first place. So because of this, hold on a second. So because of this, they're not going to be having all of these stupid expectations, which now, this is what I mean when I say, Aries, that it frees you up. It frees you up because, not like freeze like frozen, it frees you up in the sense that it's freedom, liberation, because of the fact that you know this. So now it's easier for you Aries to be getting to know somebody else. And if they want to create all these silly reasons why they can't rock with you, then so be it. That's their problem. They created the reason why it is that they can't rock with you. So they're not really looking for a real relationship in the first place. They're not looking for anything serious with anyone. They don't even take themselves seriously, is what it means. So y'all gonna stop playing with me when I say that 50-50 relationships are the only types of relationships that work. Duh. You know what I mean? If I'm at work and if I ask my wife to come help me as far as bring me some lunch, and she don't want to bring it to me, how you think that marriage is gonna work? It's not. It's not gonna work. Because you don't even want to bring a working individual lunch, and you sitting at the house, which is a luxury. So what do you think that is? That's effort on both sides. I'm at work busting my butt, and you driving through traffic to get me this. It's effort on both sides. Both people are both putting in their sweat equity. Just like I'm sweating for you, for my wife on the job, my wife would be sweating for me going through, my wife would be sweating for me to make me a sandwich or to make, to bring over some home cooked food, and be sweating for me in and out of, swerving through traffic. Effort. Thus 50-50. When you have people talking this, they don't want to deal with 50-50. That's code name factually for I'm lazy and I'm not going to do anything. Because what is a relationship other than 50-50? How does that work? Like how do two people exist in one relationship and one person decides, I'm not going to do anything? How does that work? So the King of Cups and the Hermit now is about, so you Aries are now vigilant. You're now on the lookout to see if a person is willing to work with you, and if a person really is willing to put in that sweat equity, that work. When people say it's work, they mean that, yeah, you have to actually consider another person now, because that's what a relationship is. So now the Ace of Wands is about how, since that's the case, you Aries know that you want this. You want to be loved like that, but you just, Three of Swords and the Ten of Cups. It's hard. And you Aries are absolutely right. It is hard. It's difficult. It is very much so difficult because we are at a time right now where, for some reason, people tend to think that if they don't have to contribute and they're going to be able to get what they want. And for some people, they will give them that. But they'll just pay to get it. But in reality, that's not what it is. Relationships are 50-50. Especially nowadays, relationships have to be 50-50. Because non-50-50 relationships are reserved only for the rich. Because when you say, because as far as financially is concerned, specifically reserved for the rich, because you're taking on the financial burden of two people on yourself to do what? Grown adult can't get a job or can't create their own business, can't do any of that. The Three of Swords and the Ten of Cups is, so that's the heartbreaking part about it, Aries. That's really that's part of what it is. The reluctancy to reciprocate. But a lot of you Aries are going to have a much more enjoyable time anyway because of the fact that you Aries don't have to worry about feeling like if a person decides to start flip-flopping on you, you take it so personally the way that you used to before. You know why? Because a lot of you Aries now have a better understanding of what it is. If a person is interested in you, truth be told, these silly, stupid expectations that other people put onto you, you realize how goofy that actually is. And you're right. You know, the pickup artist, don't, hold your position here. Don't turn directly to the other person or whatever the case may be or whatnot. If you do that, then it means that, you're desperate. Or forget about all that. Because at the end of the day, you have people who don't do any of that crap and still end up getting with individuals or whatnot, still end up making up for it. So what are we really talking about here? We're not talking about a one size fits all. We're talking about doing what works for you and making it uniquely yours. Me, I'm breaking all the rules. For you, Aries, the Ten of Cups, you have to figure out what that means for you. For me, I'm not going to be always calling somebody first. We ain't got to talk if she don't want. We ain't got to talk if they don't want to. So let's clarify some of these cards. Let's clarify the Ten of Cups. Six of Swords, Five of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles. Right, because all of these things are deal breakers anyway when somebody wants to put all these stipulations and quote unquote standards about you, because it's not even a standard. When they say standard, they're talking about a type. There's a certain archetype that they be getting to know. And that archetype be having them stupid because that's the archetype that they melt for. But those people in that archetype do not necessarily always mean them well. You understand what it is I'm trying to say? So when people try to look at you and they unfortunately try to prejudge you, they're delusional. In the sense that they're delusional in the sense that they are delusional in the sense that they are ultimately trying to find any reason whatsoever to disqualify you. And you Aries are quality people, especially when you have your mind and your heart in the correct place. You're quality people, but they'll spend this. So that's why it is that you don't have to worry. The Three of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles is, don't let these people get you off your square. You just continue to date, because you're gonna get a chance to. Don't listen. The cooler you become, as far as the more socialized the more socially savvy you are, the more smooth you become, is the more you're going to see how other people are socially awkward. I'm going to leave it right there. We may get into it another time if it calls.